Welcome to my channel. My name is Hassan. I am a photographer based in Toronto, Canada, and today I just want to give like a sort of review of a long-term review of my Olympus OMD EM10 II. I have owned this camera pretty much since it came out. I purchased it in October 2015, and it has been my primary camera for documenting street photography, family events. So yeah, if you like this kind of content, please don't forget to like or subscribe. All right, first of all, I just want to start off with a disclaimer. This camera is only for taking photos. I do not do video, plus the video quality coming out of this is not that great. I believe the EM5 Mark II came out in a similar time period and had a better video quality than this. So I would say if you are like a video centric or, something that you can shoot photo and video of, the EM5 Mark II or even the new, the EM5 Mark III or the OM5 is much better to grab if you want to shoot with Micro Four Third. Okay, let's start off with the first pro, and it's also a con if small camera are not your thing. Okay, but for me, just the small size of this camera, right, with the in combination with this lens, it's really compact and small, right? So you can get through a lot of places without people giving you this weird stare if you're going a lot of crowd, and people say, why is this guy taking my picture? Like you're most stealthier moving around with this little tiny camera and with this Laowa 17mm lens. That's one of the pros of this lens. What I mean by like it can be a con when you hold the camera, right, your two little fingers here are just dangling. Where is it? Just dangling right there, right? So, and it's hard to grip. There isn't some place to grip, but for me, I just like take my strap, and just hold it that way, and that way the camera's not going, and sometimes I can just walk around like this in the street, right? So it's not really an issue for me, but I can see why for some people this could be a issue. The second con I will say, the second con / pro I will say is the dials, right? So these dials here, let me see if I can zoom in there. These dials, they're so tactile, clicky, and they're really nice, but right, if you are dangling this around your neck, right, you can easily move the dial, and like your settings you have to always keep checking your settings, because sometimes like you think you're at F4, F5, 6, but you're actually like F11 because the dial move depending on like which is your shutter speed and which one is your aperture. But since I'm using a manual focus lens, right, my front dial is my shutter speed, and there's nothing really I set on the back dial. So yeah, that's what I mean by like it can be a pro or a con, right? So, but overall for me, this is easy to reach, right? You can be in the street picking it up, or you can be holding the camera up to your eye and want to change the shutter speed, and it's right there, right? The second pro is I prefer this tilt screen compared to the one that's like that comes out for video centric kind of cameras. I really prefer this because I can get to low angle, high angle, but as you can see, mine is, let's just see if I can make it work right now. Maybe if I just touch it here. Yeah, see that? There you go. See the ribbon in the back of my is very loose. Honestly, I stopped caring. I barely look at my pictures. I look at my photos when I come home and I dump the SD card to my computer, right? So throughout the day, unless like I'm just sitting down for a break, and then I can just look through my viewfinder and check all the pictures I took. But if I'm just walking around, like let's say there was a pro-Palestine march that was happening a couple of weeks ago, yeah, so I don't need to look at my camera. The only thing I really keep an eye on is the battery life. The battery life for this camera is sort of weak. It drains really quickly, but usually I will say like 99% of my time, like of the time, 2 batteries is enough to go through a whole day. So yeah, I mean, no issue. I have 2 batteries. Make sure that they're both fully charged. Otherwise, you're kind of in trouble. On the top camera, you have your on and off button, right? I've seen a lot of people on the internet complaining about where the on and off switch is. The on and off is. Right, I totally get why Olympus did this. It's sort of like a homage to their film camera, where the light meter is for the on and off switch. All right, so if they placed it on and off switch right here, I think it would have been like cluttered, because the camera is really small. Like, look at this, really small. So yeah, I mean, I don't really mind it. After a couple of weeks shooting this, you will get used to it. Basically, what I have done is I have set up 45-second timer, and the camera shuts off, right? So while I am on the street walking and have my camera in my hand, I just tap the shutter button. That way, like, I can wake the camera back up, periodically. So every couple of seconds, I will just tap the camera, turn it back on. And since my screen is not always on, it's off, only my EVF is on, right? So I consume less battery that way. I think so, at least. Yeah, so that's pretty much the top plate here. Okay, so the second thing we talk about is image quality. So this is a 16 megapixel micro four third sensor. For what I do, just pretty much documenting the street, family, is enough. I think it's enough for a lot, because nowadays we are in this megapixel race. The more megapixel, the better, full frame, right? Even like the Fujifilm, the X-T5, there's a lot of megapixel war going on. So I really don't concern myself with that. 60 megapixel is good for Instagram, Facebook, whatever you share, website. It's pretty good. The only thing I will mention is make sure that you are trying to get your shots as the best as you can in the first try, like in camera. Because as soon as you try to crop, like the image will fall apart, right? You do have some leeways, especially in a very beautiful sunny day. You have leeway to crop the photo, but if it's really dark and there's a lot of shadows, it becomes really muddy, and I would not recommend cropping too much. Yeah, if you want to just remove some part of the frame because everything's not flowing very well, then I would say, yeah, you can crop. But like, if you want to just crop a small person in the frame, yeah, I would not recommend it to do that. Secondly is I pretty much don't shoot anything above ISO 3200, and even then I feel like I'm pushing it. But there are times where I do shoot higher than ISO 6400, but I never go above 3200. Like, that's my max on this camera. So yeah, that is one of the biggest limitations of Micro Four Third. Small sensor size, and once you go above 1600, a lot of people say 1600 is the max, but I shot a bunch of photos above 3200, which is totally fine. Yeah, I mean, also one of the pro for the Micro Four Third system is there's vast amount of lenses, from like f1.2 to 0.95, from Olympus, or aka OM system now, to Panasonic, Sigma, Voigtlander, like a bunch of Chinese one like Laowa. First of all, this lens, I freaking love this lens. They're, especially for the price, I mean, this lens, fantastic. I will be inserting a bunch of photos while we are talking here. So this is a really good camera if you are a beginner budget. There are other better cameras out there. I will say like the X-T3 is there, even the X-T2 or the XE2S is really good. Find a deal on this EM10 Mark II, or 3 or 4. I would say, like, or even the EM5. I'm kind of eyeing the EM5 right now, but I feel like I should go up a little bit on the the XT range or the X Pro. But yeah, like, this is a really good starter camera. I mean, I am happy with this, especially with this combination. Like, perfect camera, honestly. You can put this in your neck and literally, like, nobody can see is there, or you could just pick it up and go, right? I mean, fantastic. Also, I just want to mention one thing. I know I might get a lot of questions about this. There is this focusing tab. I don't know if you can tell here, right? I mean, there is this focusing tab. It does not come with the camera. I have added that because I have noticed that. Let me just see if I can find it here. Anyway, so you see where the collar is. Sometimes it's really hard to grab, especially like if the person is walking towards you and you want to move up a little bit. I will talk about this hopefully in another video. Let's recap. This is Pro size, Pro, what do you call it? The vast amount of lenses. Image quality is pretty good. The battery is the only con here. Also, it's only one SD card, right? So you can't really have dual SD cards. And plus, I do not baby with the camera. Look at the camera. They have like a bunch of dings and see a bunch of scratches. Like, I really don't baby. I actually don't even put any lens hood on this. And good way, affordable way to get into the system, I will say, if you want to get into the Micro Four Turn system. This has been a great experience. I think I will keep this camera for a very long time just to have it. But yeah, it's time for upgrade. Just want to say that if you enjoy my content, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, who knows, I might make another video about this particular lens. And yeah, thank you so much.